Welcome back to the Glacier Guys. I'm here with my co-host,
Joey Fernandez.
And today we will be talking about the best team in baseball, exclusively, the Chicago White Sox.
I mean, what isn't there to say about the White Sox at
I don't
this
know,
point?
man. And with the two injuries to Eloy and Luis Robert, however you want to pronounce it, we can't really ask for more, you know?
Yeah, I just want to say this as a preface. We are huge White Sox fans,
Yes.
but putting bias aside, the White Sox are for real.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind that they're not for real.
I took my thoughts to Twitter this morning. I was like, this is the first time in my life that I'll be able to tweet this. The White Sox are for real.
Yeah. I think the best thing about characteristics about a good team is they find a lot of different ways to win. And that's one thing that they're doing, because it's not even like they're hitting the ball at the ballpark. That's like, I feel like that's like a big thing nowadays. But with the baseball, well, according to a lot of people, the baseball not being as dead. I mean, not being as lively as it usually is,
right.
Or in past years it has been. I think that's good that they're not relying on the long ball. I think it's good that they're relying on pitching and defense, and then small ball, kind of in a way.
Yeah, I mean, we have the leading batting average in the league, so it's huge.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of guys stepping up, and the bats haven't even really. I don't even think they're like they've gotten hot like the past 3 games. Like even before that, we were just finding ways, you know. Like I remember in the Angels game, the first series of the season, we were scoring runs without even like any hits or anything. Like we were just putting the ball in play.
And it's so funny that the fan base was panicking after that series.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah. I mean, it
was like, we're done. The season's over with. 4 games in. Now we're first in the league. We literally have the best record.
I
in
mean,
the league.
look at the Kansas City Royals. They started out 16-9. They dropped 10 in a row.
Yeah.
They just completely fall off the face of the earth.
And then we saw how the Yankees started, and they've bounced back pretty nicely. So it's like
there's so many different telling signs that I feel pretty good about with the White Sox, especially their run differential. Because I'm personally a pretty big believer in run differential. Sure. I think that it definitely can show how good a team is and what a team's trend is, depending on what their run differential may be. And I mean, when you look at the Sox run differential, they're the highest in baseball by 20 runs. So, like, I mean, what
Plus
else?
64, and we're 35 games in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane.
I mean, that's literally the best run differential you can really start with, unless you're winning 15 games in a row to start the season. Obviously,
right.
But
it just seems like if the pitching's not there, our bats are picking up. But when it is there, we're not scoring a ton of runs. We're still winning games. Like you said, we're just finding ways. We're really controlling the pace of games this year as a team. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think it's a huge telling sign when the Twins have kind of beat us up a little bit over the past years, especially in 2019.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They've kind of smoked us out a little bit. I think last year was a little more close, obviously, but they still got the better of us. And this year coming out and not letting them, obviously, but them scoring runs in the first inning in both games, and in both games we rebounded and answered with runs of our own every time. I think that's a huge telling sign with the characteristics of this team, because we haven't really had too many games where we've came back like that. We've just if we got up early, we would win most of the time. If we got down early, we would probably lose.
Are you talking about the 3-0 game the other night, or
kind of? Yeah, it's just in general, like our team batting average after the 7th inning was pretty low coming into the season, or coming into the series. But I think that us responding so quickly against a team like the Twins, who are probably the second best team in the division, no matter what their record says, I think that shows a lot about us.
And I think outside of that, just like having our star players kind of get off to slower starts, if you want to say Giolito, Abreu, Moncada, whoever you want to say,
definitely.
Our lower rotation guys and our lower
back end, the back end of the lineup
guys. They've just picked up the slack.
Yeah, exactly. guys like Carlos Rodon and guys like Dylan Cease have clearly figured out something. Their strikeouts are up, their control is a lot better, they're getting ahead in counts, and that's really all you need to do to be a back end guy, especially being a back end guy with that kind of stuff that they have.
Yeah,
both of them touching mid to upper 90s when they have to, and having great off speed stuff. Carlos Rodon with that wipeout slider he's always had, and Dylan Cease with that nasty knuckle curve.
Rodon is just, I don't know, man. I feel like there's just a different kind of fire in him this season just because of the uncertainty coming in.
Yeah, getting non-tendered definitely.
Almost like he might have not even been in our rotation. There was talks of him just kind of being like coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever he's got going on, hopefully he can keep this ball rolling. But it's been awesome to see,
Yeah, I think Ethan Katz, the new pitching coach, is definitely a massive contribution to that. Carlos Rodon attributes some of his mechanical adjustments from spring training to him with the lower, like he pointed out something so small about him not using his lower half in spring training, and that he said that did wonders for just in general, like the health of his arm and even a tick velocity. That's he's been staying consistent with.
Yeah, he looks better than ever. There was question marks around Cease. They're both making strides, obviously.
Yeah.
Giolito's struggled a little bit, but like we said, it's fine right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's still early in the season, and our lower rotation guys are just seem to be picking up the slack.
I think all it takes is for him to get that one game where he comes out and he just shoves, and once he starts hitting his spots, it's gonna be a little scary for everyone else, because when all five guys are clicking at once, it's gonna be pretty tough to stop, I think. Because Lance Lynn he's been what as advertised, I'd say so far. He's been great. Dallas Keuchel has been pretty solid his last 3 or 4 starts. His start against the Twins yesterday, a little bit of a hiccup, but he didn't really have his best stuff. He battled pretty good.
You can't win every game either. It's just not realistic,
And the offense helped him out anyway. He got a lot of run support. And his previous starts, when he actually pitched good, he didn't get that much run support. So it's kind of funny how that works. But I think that's a pretty solid start overall from the rotation. They had the best starter ERA coming into yesterday. I don't know if it still stands or not, but overall we're 5th in the league in ERA just in general, including the bullpen.
Yeah, it's huge.
We haven't even really touched on the bullpen yet, which really hasn't gotten into a crazy groove yet. There's been a few guys that are just unhittable right now, but there's a couple guys that I expect to be, when they turn it up a notch, it's going to be a little scary when you
Liam Hendricks, for example.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yesterday he got tagged a little bit, but that was in the 9th inning without a save situation. And then there's always that thing with closers in the non-save situations, like not getting that same sort of motivation. So I'm not really too worried about that.
Yep.
And Garrett Crochet and Michael Kopech. What else can you really ask from them? Michael Kopech is low 2 ERA with great K per 9 and doesn't give up many hits. And Garrett Crochet is an under 1 ERA. So, what else? That's just a shutdown, and they can both go multi-innings.
Kopech is just he's blown me away. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. There was obviously not playing last year, and he came into the season where we got to restrict him, not too many pitches, just we're putting him out there for a little bit longer sometimes, and he's just been elite.
Yeah, exactly. I just hope he has enough innings in his arm at the end of the season when we really need him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I get him. I know he's going to start on Friday and stuff, and it's a big game against the Royals, so I'm cool with it. But I just don't want to see him get too many, use up too many innings too early in the season.
And yeah, and dominating your division is just, it's so huge, especially for standings and everything. We're currently on a 13-game stretch where we play only division opponents, which is the Twins and the Royals. 5-0 so far.
Yep,
that's huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
These are the most important games of the regular season.
Besides the Indians, we've been creating quite a bit of distance from the other teams. The Twins are 9 games back currently. that's perfect. That's a perfect start because at the end of the season, I think they're truly the biggest threat that we have. So as long as we create such a gap like that and don't really give them a chance, I mean, if we can get it over like 12, 13 games, that would be massive. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like I don't care how long the season is. That's like an extremely hard gap to make up. I don't know many teams that even really have the mental capacity to even do something like that.
No, yeah, it's just. I don't know. It's awesome. Most walks as a team we have too.
That starts with Yasmani Grandal and his amazing stretch he's had of just somehow like every pitcher. Like I don't think people understand how scared pitchers are of Yasmani Grandal to throw the ball in the zone. You know, and he's so patient. He's willing to take that walk every time if you give it to him.
He had a 4-game stretch where he was 0 for 3 with 13 walks.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible.
Absurd.
Honestly.
How do you even manage to get walked 13 times in 4 games? It just it doesn't even make sense when you hear it. You know.
Yeah, and I think it's a great philosophy to have because the White Sox were like last in the league in walks for years. Like from like 2017 to 2019, I think they were like one of the bottom of the barrel teams in walks every year.
Last year were we or no?
We really didn't walk that much last year either. We were more middle of the pack, but we've just kind of I don't know. It's like I think it's more of a philosophy thing.
And you know what's funny? Last year we led the league in or not the league. We led the AL in home runs, correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that has a lot to do with that as well. It's just being more patient at the plate.
Exactly. I think
like this year we're last in the league in home runs and we have the best record. So what does that say?
I think eventually when the bats start, I think since we're working deeper counts, pitchers are going to start missing a lot more. I think a lot of the guys just haven't hit the ball at the ballpark, but now they're starting to hit gaps. Mm-hmm. So when you start hitting gaps and you start hitting the ball the other way, you're going to eventually – they're not going to know where to pitch you. So eventually they're going to start missing out over the plate, and then the ball's going to leave the ballpark.
Yeah,
like,
Abreu has yet to be a big home run hitter, you know, as he has been in past years.
Yeah, he's been starting to lately, but that's been like a past week type thing, you know, not the whole season.
And with Grandal, I mean, his 3-run homer the other night, you know, he's
2 days in a row.
Right.
So I think it's going to start happening. I think Moncada's really close to starting to do it too. Mm-hmm. I mean, Andrew Vaughn just hit his first yesterday, so I think he's going to hit the ground running.
Dude, I mean, Billy Hamilton, 4 for 4 yesterday. You know, what can you ask for?
Yeah, I don't know if the ball's really going to fly out of the ballpark much with him, but I think the other guys are really close. I think I really like that we aren't relying on it though, because last year I felt like our offense will go stagnant if a guy's keeping the ball in the ballpark. Yeah, exactly, because we're not getting as many hits. We're getting more. A lot of like solo bombs and stuff like that.
I mean, to think that we have the highest batting average and the most walks, and I've noticed this too. It just seems like we always have guys on base.
Exactly, that
like,
that
literally
puts so
always
much pressure onto the pitcher because a pitcher's stress amount and the wear and tear in their arm depends on how stressful the pitches they're throwing. It's not necessarily the quantity. I think it's huge that because guys are getting gassed from just having someone constantly on first base, constantly pressured and constantly stressed throughout their whole outing.
I'll be watching games with my dad. It's like, all right, we didn't score a run in this inning, but he pitched 25 pitches, you know.
Exactly.
So that's what we're making pitchers do every inning. It seems like 20 pitches right around there.
And then we got guys that are willing to fend off pitches and they're putting the ball in play. That's huge on a team. I mean, Nick Madrigal not striking out very often.
They had some stats. It was on Mother's Day. When a pitch is in the strike zone, he's a 99.1% contact rate when swinging.
Yeah.
In general, even if it's not in the strike zone, it was like 94.9.
Yeah.
All first in the league. Highest batting average with 2 strikes.
He's
in
ridiculous.
the upper 300s. It's just like
he's almost better with 2 strikes to this point. Yeah. It's crazy. We got guys like him, guys like your mean Mercedes who doesn't even pick his foot up on 2 strikes because he's trying to put the ball in play all the time. And yesterday it worked out. I mean, he had a base hit up the middle on a pitch that was like at his shoulders. Mm-hmm. So like, I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. And then Tim Anderson, he's always putting the ball in play. So
he's batting right around 300. I mean, the fact that Yerman's still leading the league in average is honestly surprising.
Yeah,
you know?
It's pretty crazy. He came into the league ready to hit. I mean, you gotta really give him a hand for that one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really like his approach a lot. That's why I feel like it's actually sustainable because he's swinging for to hit the light tower every time. But when he gets to 2 strikes, he's shortening up.
Much more defensive.
Yeah, he's shortening up. He's not picking up his foot. He's just trying to put the ball in play. I mean, I love that about him. I mean, you don't really see see rookies like doing that.
No,
you know?
And he is 29, so he's been around the block, but he's still an MLB rookie.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's pretty crazy seeing like all these guys for the first time, and he's going out there and actually he's just hitting constantly. You know?
Yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous.
It's just a great time to be a White Sox fan, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. And then I mean, if they can, I'm hoping that they can win 8 or 9 out of these 12 games for this division. I mean, against these divisional opponents, and then that'll create a solid gap. I mean, the Indians are pretty hot right now, but
It's not sustainable.
I don't have much faith in them.
I mean,
personally.
Yeah, I know. It's like Shane Bieber. Well, I mean,
like Zach. They have a good rotation. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And then the 2 guys in the back end, it's going to be pretty tough if they have the lead go into like the 7th, 8th inning. But either way, I just don't have any faith in their offense long term.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's like either Jose Ramirez or Franmil goes deep. If not, they're scoring 1 run.
That is an absolute unit of a human being.
Oh, I know. He's absolutely massive. He's like, I don't know. He reminds me of like a grown man version of Eloy. He's not as good, but like he just like Eloy if he like, I don't know, if he just aged like 10 years.
It's just it's crazy to me that like we literally don't have 2 of our starting outfielders.
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine if we did. I don't think it would be any doubt that we're the best team in baseball if we had both of them. To be honest with you,
it's just
especially
with the
crazy.
Rotation. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think our lineup is still top tier even without them.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
for sure. And then Adam Engel, what's going on with?
He had a setback on his hamstring a few weeks back, but he should be back. Tony La Russa said he should be back sometime this month. So hopefully that's within like next week or so, but who knows? I mean, it would be really ideal having him back. I think,
that would be huge.
I think honestly a lot of people underrate him. He's been really good for a couple years now, actually, and his defense is pretty unmatched out there. So I think the depth he would provide, not having Luis Garcia play every day and not having Billy Hamilton have to play as much as he does, I think that would be huge for us.
All right, and as it stands right now, I'd say our outfield defense is still pretty good. We got Eaton and Hamilton, huge speed.
Yeah, and Leori's not bad out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Vaughn's actually been good out there. I was saying out there I had faith in him being able to play left field. A lot of people were saying like, oh, he's not going to be able to do it. He's not going to be able to do it. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he hasn't played it before. You know, like he's played. He practiced a lot at the alternate site at Schaumburg last year, but I think he put the time in spring training. I don't know how much he was putting in like before Eloy got hurt, but he definitely put in a lot after he got hurt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I mean, he's came prepared every day. I mean, I can't really think of any plays where he's really cost us anything.
No.
He's made a few sliding catches and diving catches and stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good about him out there. And I mean, his arm isn't the worst either. He's got a better arm than Eloy out there. So I feel all right. I mean, I'm honestly cool with trotting him out in left field every day, like for his career. Honestly, personally, I think he's better out there than Eloy already. So I mean, yeah,
defensively for sure,
exactly. And
he just picked up his first big league homer, I should say.
Yeah, and he's been getting on base consistently. He's been hitting consistently. So I mean, the power's been gonna come around.
It's awesome. Yeah. What's he batting right now?
His slash line is around like 270s ish, 360s ish, and like a little under 400.
Not bad.
So like once the slugging comes around, he's gonna be like an above average MLB hitter already in his rookie season.
I know.
So like I mean, what else can you really ask for?
And there was even talks that like this was a premature like bringing him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like for him to be already doing this well.
Yeah. So
it's huge.
He has a 756 OPS. He's hitting 257 with a 364 on base percentage and a 392.
That's
slugging.
Not bad at all.
So like, if he gets his slugging up to what I think it easily could be in his rookie season, which is around like the 440, 450 range, that's easily an 800 OPS.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, that's what else can you really ask for out of the guy?
I know it's his first year in the league.
Exactly. Never even played above high A ball. So like, that's ridiculous. I mean, he skipped AA, he skipped AAA. He literally like didn't even play last year, basically.
I mean, it's It's honestly just crazy to even hear that, you know.
Yeah, and he's
and he's 23 years old.
Yeah, he's willing to take a walk. He has 22 strikeouts this year. It's not even a crazy amount, and he has 11 walks, which is solid. So I'm cool. I'm cool with like everything he's been doing so far.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm looking at Nick Madrigal right now. 6 strikeouts he has this year. That's insane.
And a few of them are called strike threes on bad pitches too, which is crazy. So I mean, like strikeouts he deserves probably like 3 or 4 personally.
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, he's been a solid hitter. I mean, obviously he's never going to hit for that much power, but
I mean that's not what we're looking for though.
Yeah,
you know?
He has 5 doubles so far. So I mean, eventually he's gonna start finding gaps more. I think once he gets more comfortable. Once he like starts swinging a little harder, maybe like once he gets more comfortable. But I mean, either way, if he doesn't end up hitting like home runs like that, I really don't care.
Who do you think at the end of the season is going to be the team MVP?
Personally, for me, I think it. I don't know. I want to say like one of the usuals, but I don't know. I want to stick to my gut and say it's still going to be Yohan Moncada, personally.
That's exactly. I was literally going to say Moncada.
Yeah. I think that he's just on the brink of finally starting to get really hot. Yesterday he had a double, but he's just, I don't know. I just really feel it coming from him. I really do. I like the way he's been seeing the ball lately, and I think he's going to carry it over. Like the first week he started out like sluggish, but he's looked solid. Like I don't feel like he ever looks overmatched, you know?
Yeah.
And I think eventually he's going to start hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and then his numbers are going to just jump up because he's hitting around like league average right now without the power.
Right.
So once the power comes around, he's going to start smoking the ball, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's funny to note that everyone was kind of calling for Grandal's head at the beginning of the season, and then now like, I mean he's got to be the most walked player in the league, right?
Yeah, he has the most walks in the league. Excuse me. I don't get it. Like he's been getting on base the whole year. That's crazy
all that
thing.
really matters. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
He's been getting on base all year. It's just been a bit of tough luck, to be honest with you. His strikeout rate has been down, and he's been hitting the ball harder than he did last year. So it's just like it. He just had a lot of unlucky at bats. I mean, don't get me wrong. He should probably hit the ball the opposite way a little more. But either way, I mean, the power is going to come eventually because they can't just keep walking him every at bat. They're going to throw him something in the zone, and then as you've seen, when they throw him things in the zone, that he smokes it.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Like he's gonna hit 25 to 30 bombs. He's gonna have a 370 to 400 on base percentage, and he's gonna play solid defense at catcher. I mean, and he's gonna frame well and call a good game. So I mean, he's as advertised. I just don't get why people they get stuck in the average argument, but they don't look at his on base percentage.
Here's a headline: Yasmani Grandal has one of the wonkiest slash lines you'll ever see. This is for Fangraphs Baseball. I mean,
that is true.
Yeah, he's batting 113 and his on base percentage is 378. I mean, that's just absurd, you know. And it's crazy that even like they compared it with all the other seasons and second all times, like when Barry Bonds was getting on base over 60% of the time, and his differential is his batting average to on base percentage differential is the highest of all time.
Yeah,
and say like we're 35 games into the season, but still, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
A crazy stat is Yasmani Grandal is a 132 average with a 121 weighted runs created plus, which calculates like you're hitting to the league average, like with ballparks and all that stuff calculated into it. And so he's 21% better than the average major league player hitting 121 because of his on base percentage and because of his slugging percentage going up a little bit. And that hasn't even really came around yet. So when his slugging percentage goes up and his on base is going to stay there, I guarantee it. His weighted runs created plus is going to be sitting around like 140, 150. Like that's just in his sleep.
What's league average?
100.
100?
Yeah. So it basically just like the percentage above that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Hitting 121, he's 21% better still. Like that's outrageous. Like, I mean, I get like how people would say that's not sustainable, but I feel like that's that's a sign of like progression, like that's positive regression coming, because like it's just been a grain of like tough luck.
And I feel like the tough luck is the thing that's not going to be sustainable.
Exactly.
It's just he's been getting unlucky.
Yeah, because he hits the ball hard. It's not like he's just hitting weak contact and he's just been getting lucky and getting walked a lot.
Right.
It's just he's been walking for a long time. Like that's been like a trend that he's had. He walked over 100 times his last time with the Brewers.
It's never been this prominent in his game, but it's great, honestly.
Yeah,
I think it's a very overlooked, not only stat but just like asset to the game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because people, like you said earlier, people see that batting average and they're like, I mean, batting average means less and less. I feel like, you know what I mean, just in general.
Yeah, like a walk is just the same as a hit.
It's the same thing.
It's literally it serves the same purpose. Obviously, if you're hitting for extra bases, it's different. But that you have to hit eventually. Like, don't get me wrong, but a walk is just fine with me, especially to lead off an inning.
Yeah, and as a team, I mean, we have a lot of that has to do with Yasmani, I'm sure. But even as a team, we have the most walks in the league. So and in years past, we haven't seen that.
Exactly. I think guys like Yermin, who's willing to take a walk. Moncada's always been willing to take a walk, and Adam Eaton's willing to take one also. I think those guys just add an element. Yeah, Vaughn also.
Even Madrigal.
Yeah. So I feel I think that adds just a huge element to our team. Puts a lot of pressure on the other team a lot. But overall, the team's been really good. I mean, to touch on Tony La Russa a little bit, I think he was getting scrutinized a little too much too early. Like, don't get me wrong, he did some wonky things that probably shouldn't have been done. He admitted some things he probably shouldn't have admitted. But either way, I think
I don't know. I kind of like it though. He's owning up to like.
Yeah,
he's taking the flack for the guys if it is the guy's fault.
Exactly. It's just, I don't know. I think he was scrutinized too early, like people calling for his job. Like you kind of have to write it out. You can't fire him mid-season, especially if the team has a good record. It's just not justifiable. I get it, but like I don't know. I think he's made some good moves that people just don't want to give him credit for. Like definitely
because of the bad moves.
Exactly. Like putting in Crochet with first and third, 1 out, or was it 1 out or no outs? The first game of the Twins series. I mean, I feel like that was a good move. But a lot of people really wouldn't say it. Like, they would just be like, "Oh, it's the obvious move." But, I mean, he made it, Right. So I
nobody's giving him credit for the good moves. They're only kind of picking apart things that change.
Yeah. So. I mean, they got the lineup gripes, but I feel like there's just always the lineup guys like that just complain about the lineup no matter what.
Yeah. Like, and we've had some perfect lineups this year, according to fans' eyes. So
no, definitely.
And obviously, I mean, they know something we don't. Just like inside the organization, it just boils down to that.
And sometimes the front office has a lot more say in the lineup making than a lot of people know. Like, you don't know what the analytics department's bringing down to his desk and his office every day. You know? So, like, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're making the lineup for him. Like, a lot of time, that's how it is. They'll put the lineup in his office, and then he might tweak like one thing. Exactly. So, nobody really knows,
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, if he is not a good manager, like everyone thinks, or a lot of people think, I think managers in baseball are kind of overrated, like their effect on the game.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, if the pitcher throws a complete game shutout, what does the manager have to do with that?
Well, put him out there.
Exactly.
It's like, come on.
I mean, like if the lineup scores 15 runs, sure, I guess he put it together, but most of those guys are probably going to hit no matter what, because you can't. How many different lineups can you really have? There's only so many guys.
There's only a few different. Honestly, there's only a few different lineups you could put out there each night. So.
Exactly. Maybe the order a little different, but like. I don't know. Like over one game, I don't think that really makes a huge difference.
Exactly.
Like I think at the end of the day, it's like man to man.
La Russa came into a great roster, a great program already. So it's like, you know what I mean?
If anything, it's a win in spite of type thing. But I don't even think it's like that, to be honest with you. I think it's just kind of a neutral thing. I think obviously there's going to be wrong moves made. These guys aren't going to have it sometimes. But like at the end of the day, you kind of gotta blame the player. You can't blame the coach. I mean, most of the guys in the bullpen, like have had success besides Jose Ruiz, who's been solid actually this year, but like everyone else has had success in the majors. I mean, if they don't come out there with their A game, I mean, how is that his fault? I mean, I guess it's his choice, like putting in that guy. But how is he? Who's he to predict if the guy's going to have it or not? You know, that's why I think that manager's effect on the game is a little overrated.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd have to agree. La Russa's definitely getting too much hate. It's too early in the season, and you know this guy's been there, done that, so. He knows what's up.
Exactly. He's 15 wins shy of the second most wins all time.
Yep. He's 15 wins shy of the most ever?
Yeah.
Wow. So I mean,
no, the second most.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll see that this season.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're looking forward to the rest of the year. It's going to be exciting. That's all I can say.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you guys for joining us this week. These episodes will be on the Glacier, posted later this week or Monday. The library also posts these episodes, so thank you guys for joining us, and probably our last episode of the semester, so hopefully we'll catch you guys in a few months.
Peace.